Hey everybody, we're here at the campground at Lake Fort Smith State Park in Arkansas. We didn't really get to do a whole lot in the campground because we arrived while it was pouring down rain, and then it was extremely severe weather, like really bad tornado warnings, hail warnings further south than us. So basically we arrived and set up in the rain and pretty much just stayed in the RV the entire time. There was a brief moment where it was not raining very hard and it was drizzling, and we walked around. So this is the area behind the visitor center. It is a great little area that you can walk to, and then there's amazing views of the lake, and the marina can be seen down there as well. What's interesting is that they made a lot of this state park accessible. So as you go towards the railing, if you had somebody with mobility issues, they could actually bring their wheelchair up and still see the view, which is really awesome. This is the marina. You can get motorized boats. You can also rent kayaks there. And then there's quite a few picnic shelters that are like really close to the lake. These were really nice and had really great views. And there is a children's playground nearby so the kids can play while you're enjoying a really nice picnic lunch in the picnic pavilion areas. And then of course there is the pool. It was not open while we were there. It wasn't season yet, but this is something that you can expect, and it looks like it would be great fun. It's really quite a big area. Okay, so this is the site area. We did have picnic table, lantern post, grill, fire pit. There is a flat pad beside it, and then there is a trail. You can see that is the lake back there, what looks like white. We haven't been able to go down there because it's flooded based on all the weather we got. I would imagine that you could see a lake view when the trees weren't full in. And then you have this pad over here to the side. Some things that you do need to know when you come to the state park campground. First of all, once you turn into the state park, there is going to be a sign for the visitor center. There also is an arrow for camping at the same area. You do need to turn into the visitor center because that is where you are going to be checking in at the visitor center. If you go past the visitor center as we did, you'll find out that there is not a quick place to turn around. You're going to have to go down to the cabins or to the marina area and try to turn around. So be sure to make your first stop at the visitor center. Another huge thing that you need to know is that there is no Wi-Fi and there is no cell phone signal here. I don't even know if you had a booster, if there would be any signal to actually boost. And even at the visitor center, there wasn't any Wi-Fi that we found that we could use just to kind of check in real quick. However, we did do over-the-air TV channels, and there was quite a few TV channels that there was available, which is by the grace of God, because when that severe storm kept getting worse and worse, we were able to turn on local TV news stations and find out where the tornadoes were, where the hail damage was, and the expected path of the storm, because it was pretty intense. So that's why we didn't get to do a whole lot at this campground. I do think that it would be a great campground to stay at in nice weather. The sites are huge. As you can see, we are standing in site number 11, and I'll turn around. You can't even really see our neighbor. You can barely see the entrance to their site right there. That's site number 10. And then I'll come around over here and show you where our next closest neighbor is, and that is going to be site number 12. Site number 11 is a pull-through. There are several pull-throughs, but not all sites here are pull-throughs, so keep that in mind. Let me turn around and I'll show you site 12 from our viewpoint. It is one of the most solitary and really quiet and far spaced apart campgrounds that we've been to in quite a long time. There are some loops that it's not like that. I think like number 1 through 3 is pretty close together. If you go into the class B ones, those have water and electric but no sewer, and those definitely don't have as much privacy either. There, that's number 21. And then that is number 22 back there. So this is site number 24. And then 26 coming down here. Site number 25. What we are in is class AAA, and that is a water, electric, and sewer. There are quite a few bathhouses as well. The bathhouses are very nice. So this is just one of the bathhouses. They were really nice. The ones in the Class B section were easier to get to. If you were needing a bathhouse in the Class AAA section, some of those campsites are quite the long walk from the bathhouse. So just be sure to look at the map before deciding which campsite you want to reserve. But again, the facilities at this state park were so modern and were some of the nicest that we've seen in quite a long time. And if you want to see some certain sites, we'll show you some site tours. This one is going to be site number 14, as you saw. This is obviously a back end, not the pull through, but it is a really huge site. You've got plenty of room for everything when you're staying at this park. So this is site number 8. Just an FYI, there is a ton of space between sites number 8 and 7 if you want a lot of privacy. Now starting with site 9, we're going to see some pull-throughs. Number 10 is going to be a pull-through as well, which you're seeing now. We were in site number 11, just to give you a reference point. Now site number 15, as you are seeing again, is plenty spacious, really big, a lot of room. However, you're starting to see more RVs around you. There's not quite as much privacy as there was in the previous sites that we were touring. Coming up, you are going to see site number 17. That is this one. And then we also have site number 18. This is going to be an accessible campsite. We were really impressed with the accessibility of this state park. They have done a lot to make sure that everybody has the ability to be out in nature. Something a little different about this one is that sidewalk that is going to connect to that flat pad rather than steps of other campsites. You have the picnic table accessible, the fire pit is accessible, and then off in the distance you're going to see number 19, and this is going to be site number 19 here. So if this video helped you out, whether it's picking out which campsite you want or whether or not you actually want to stay at Lake Fort Smith State Park Campground, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It would help us out a lot. We would be so thrilled if you did. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we do reviews of every campground that we stay at. We'd love to show you some more campgrounds across America. Take care.